Welcome to Biomutant. Must be the World Eater that chewed off Out-of-Date's leg. You'll need a hat trick to bring that down. The World Eaters have made their marks on our world over time. That's not the first nor the last village it'll leave in its wake. Look, a survivor. Glad to see someone made it out alive.
He's heard
the stories about the terror inflicted by the World Eaters to other enclaves, but never expected one to come all the way here.
He
doesn't know what your connection is to this place, but something tells him you've stayed true to your heart. Anyway, he needs help and says it's by your actions you'll be judged, not by your intentions. He's grateful for that. You still seem to have a spark of light in you.
Ah! That's a spark of light in you!
That's right. Smack that spark out before it starts.
You don't have to be so harsh. It's such a little spark.
Take it out now while it's small.
There's always another spark.
There's Out-of-Date again. He must have missed something important. Out-of-Date says you will make a better stand against the World Eaters with the support of a tribe, and there are two nearby. Regardless of who you choose, it won't be easy, as the conflict between the tribes is worse than ever, teetering on the brink of war. The Myriad's conviction to stop the World Eaters began when the Leviathans rose from the depths of the surf. Siding with the Myriad's movement for wholeness in a fragmented world might seem like the logical thing to do, but is it the right thing? One thing's certain, though. Destiny arrives all the same. The Jagni tribe only ever had one conviction: to bring balance to the world by wiping out the weak. They believe a cleansing is necessary to restore the world and want to let the World Eaters bring down the Tree of Life. But siding with Jagni isn't necessarily a bad thing. Fate will find a way. Out of Date says someone needs to break the stalemate and shift the balance of power to either Jag...
Come Reaper, Mook, Bebuk.
He believes the tribe Sifus, Myriad especially, will listen to you and expects you to pay at least one of them a visit and play your part.
Mook, Bebuk.
He can sense you share Myriad's view on the world. The Myriad would embrace someone willing to fight against the...
Come Reaper.
Out of Date will be waiting for you beneath the Tree of Life if you lose track of what you need to do. Regardless, you'll meet again once you've played your part in the tribe war and the situation with the World Eaters. Another fork in the road. It's either the tunnel or the motor bridge. What'll it be? It's unusual that natural tunnels like this still exist. Most of them got flooded. Flash the slash. One down. Finish him. This area was beautiful before the tribe war began. Look at it now. It's a war zone. That's the Myriad Tribe's fortress. Will they be friends or foe? You should head up there. That way you'll know. Let's see. It's a beaten path to that door. If you go there, you'd better make an entrance. Says they're wary of strangers. They're at war. Wonders why the Sifu would want to see you, but he'll let you in and give it a try.
Sibi? Lapanen aginkanman. Geratna falo hutut mustugai la wute.
The Myriad tribe act on understanding of the greater good and a code of honor. They believe uniting the tribes is the only way to restore the peace. The Sifu is convinced that defeating the World Eaters and saving the Tree of Life is the only way to make the world a better place. He welcomes you to the Myriad Fort and introduces himself as the tribe's Sifu. But he was hoping you'd show up. The news of a vigilante Ronin on crusade crossing the Great Wall through the crack in Bunker 101 has preceded you. He heard you took out-of-date side against the scavengers in Bunker 101. It seems you believe in helping your next, and that's something you have in common. He's convinced you've returned for a reason, and is glad you chose to come here. There's something about your spirit that sparks memories of you as a kidling. He can still sense you're kind-hearted. The Sifu says sometimes one memory can make another come to life. He hasn't thought about your Muma for ages, even though she taught him a lot. He was one of the original Wang Fu disciples. Your Muma invented Wang Fu. Originally, it consisted of unarmed combat and the 6 weapons: the boomerang, the shuriken, the bow, the staff, the nunchuk, and the hook and chain. The Sifu says it's time to set the past aside, at least for now. Unrest is sweeping the land, and there are rivals in all directions. Myriad wants unity between the tribes. Their goal is understanding of the greater good and establishing a code of honor. If you believe there's some good in everyone, there's still hope for tomorrow. You'll unite the tribes and defeat the World Eaters to save the Tree of Life.
Hello?
He was hoping you'd join them. You understand that there's no harm in doing good to others.
Lapanan aginkan man. Kerawah. Lapu.
The Sifu was waiting for something to tip the balance in their favor, and with you by their side, he's confident you can unite the other tribes. The one you should coerce first is the Jagni tribe.
Kerawah. Gine afirma katano shubudo. Pala papa.
The Jagni tribe may believe that fear and hatred will lead them to domination. A vanquisition of the tribes and destruction of the Tree of Life won't be the restart they want. It's just an end to everything.
Gine afirma katano shubudo. Dergenkin ala dubai.
Their kin have run out of options and found themselves backed into a corner. Even those who desire peace have been forced to prepare for war.
Dergenkin ala dubai.
You need to take the struggle to the enemy, or the enemy will bring it to you. When survival is threatened, there's no other option left but war. He wants you to focus. These are the new rival outposts your tribe needs to take control of. He says you'll regret not being on their side. The only way you'll learn their secrets, Wung Fu and the tribe weapon now, is if you defeat him. And that will never happen.
Brita.
You both have gentle minds, so they want to wage a gentle war. A war that bonds as much as it breaks.
Brita. Saramoto. Brewere yonke.
Tells you not to be afraid. Your fate cannot be taken from you. Claim the rival outposts and earn the right to wield the tribe weapon.
Brewere yonke.
Once you've dealt with the rivals' outposts, you'll challenge their Sifu to unite their tribe with yours and let your kin share land again.
Buka mun lo sara.
They passed the point of no return as their words lost power and see no other way forward than using violence to combat violence.
Buka mun lo sara.
Seeing you brings back his memories of the old village.
Gelid not. Wa pala misa.
Myriad wants unity between the tribes. Their goal is understanding of the greater good and establishing a code of honor.
Erim denken alvese ane. Tide free.
He remembers your kind and unselfish soul and can sense you still have it in you, the will to do good.
Kala bangrif.
Anyway, the memories you make with your family are strong and can sometimes come to life. Passing the old village on your way to the first rival outpost might help.
Papa most gula mamose.
Even though it's now a different place from a different time, it is a place that'll make you remember. Hates that you're wasting your time trying to improve things. Seems... trigger finger. Bullets everywhere. Better beware, that's a mump up ahead. They were hit hard by evolution, the wonky ones especially, deformed and unfurred. Half-lifed. The deep cut. All fired up. getting jacked. Time is lost on this place, but it evokes a tingling sensation. There's something special about it, drawing you closer. Let's see. As time passes, memories fade. And sometimes feelings change. It's not about who you were, it's about who you'll become. This story is far from over. Echoes of a long-lost past, like whispers in the wind. Here's someone who takes each day as it comes. He asks how you are today. Goop says he always does better whenever he leaves failure behind. He's happy his good mood is infectious. He wonders where you've been. He hopes you've been out at the lake, practicing your swimming technique. Learning to swim can be scary when you don't know what you're doing. But fortunately, he's here to give you a helping hand. He thinks you should really know how to swim by now. And he'll be honored. He says that wasn't too bad, was it? Way to go. Don't let the sound of the waves drown out your But you need practice. Lots of practice. Great things usually happen to those who never stop trying. He hopes you'll be one of them. You just need more time in the surf. That's the only way you'll ever learn how to swim. You can never try too hard. Judging by your Mooma's look, it seems you forgot something. You promised you'd train with her before the sun goes down. It's time to go. The dedication to training is important. You can't rely solely on the fact that one... You should know, practice makes perfect. As long as it doesn't kill you, it'll only... She'll see you at the village square. She says that's good. With a passion for learning... Here's another familiar face with lots on his mind. Asks how you're feeling today. Being nice comes easy for him. That doesn't make it less He was hoping you could help him pick up some scrap for a thingamajig he's working on. He thinks you're truly a kidling of your environment. You should look for things that are recyclable. It shouldn't take... He wonders what usefulness you feel. He says every little... He can work wonders with almost anything and asks if you know how to upcycle. That's the spirit. You can't make a difference unless you... He'd love to teach you to upcycle, and the scrap you found would be a good start. You did well, but he can't help but wonder why you decided to craft a weapon. He believes being considerate will help you feel at peace with him. He understands, but hopes you won't be needing it anytime soon. You're not in this world to live up to his expectations, but he hopes you're never going... He's looking forward to seeing what you'll make next. It seems you have... It looks like she's starting to lose her patience.
Can't see.
You know she doesn't like waiting for you. She wants to see you on the village square.
Kanaruta.
Then you've got a good excuse. You share a responsibility to prevent hardship on nature and the environment.
Asana yotutupu.
She wants you to grow up and start thinking for yourself. You really need to find yourself before she's gone.
Ansonbara. Ben nampusa.
She won't live forever, you know that. But she intends to make the most of every day she gets.
Ben nampusa. Ansonbara.
You've always followed your own path, but this time she needs you to follow her.
Urasa durut. Ben nampusa. Kalino?
Then start by meeting her on the village square and take it from there. She knows you're a free spirit, all... They look determined. Better watch out.
Ole Olaga.
He asks you to stop right there and wonders where you think you're going.
Lenefu.
That makes him wonder why you were here.
Shandu Shitoro Sem.
There's no way they'll let you pass.
Kopi Amasuti.
He wants to know who you think you are.
Kopi Amasuti and Sirignore Kitty.
They push each other to become better, and sometimes someone gets pushed down. She asks if you're hurt. What happened?
Andro?
She says it's nice of you to consider them, but they have weapon training at sunrise tomorrow, so they'll need...
Anarolote.
The most important thing is that you're
Andro?
It's time to focus on your training now.
Asil natu. Polakuto.
You won't... Here's someone close to heart, doing what he does best. Seeing you always puts a smile on your Popsy's face. He wants to know how you're feeling. He heard you helped Gizmo clean up. He asks if you could help him too before you leave for training. He wishes that was true for your Mooma too, but guiding the village into the future and teaching Wang Fu to her disciples seems more... He suggests you get going and find him gadgets and ideas for how you can upcycle. He's curious to see what you found. He can work wonders with pretty much anything and asks if you know how to upcycle. Thinks some are and some aren't. One thing's for sure, though, your Mooma thinks it all takes up too much space in... He says it's about time you learned how and offers to teach you, starting with the scrap. The style might be too edgy for his taste, but it looks sharp on you.
Yama fore dome da hunka.
He knows she's already proud of you and everything.
Waxendonia in Almachamala.
You should take it with you, wear it to practice. He thinks you should. She'll be proud.
Sache vanyat sab.
He's looking forward to seeing what you'll make next. It seems you...
Polakuto.
Your Muma says it's about time you got here.
Kanyala Notoro. Asil Natu.
Wants you to understand that you can do anything if...
Kanyala Notoro. Ingadaldo.
She says she is eager to get started. You don't have much...
Brumblere Marsamongundo. Kanamunt.
But there's enough time left for repetition, and you need it. Training dummies don't hit back.
Pala.
Wants you to prove that with some practice.
Masama.
Your Muma says you did well today. She's so proud of you.
Sanna yote.
Thanks you for being such a good student.
Kanyala Notoro. Pala.
Been working on a present for you, with the help of Gizmo and Wiz.
Sanna yote. Kala.
You should go see him and find out what it is. You've deserved.
Dropalo.
Says he's always thought so well of you, just like her. Catchy.
Kanyala Notoro.
Your Muma says she's never seen an apparatus as green as this little thing. It's wonderful.
Kanoruta.
She's happy you appreciate what others do.
Ritsentere. Asana yotutupu.
A piece of Scraptronics like this has built-in old-world tech that makes it a potent
Tatenko babasakting.
It's called an automaton, and it's hardwired to your DNA. It'll follow wherever you go and see whatever you see.
Tukonda.
You're lucky to have such a fine helper with...
Antoro.
Your Muma says you look tired. No wonder. It's been a long day.
Tatenko babasakting.
She's so happy you made them... Rest, and you'll find strength for tomorrow. Nothing could stop Lupa Lupin from setting the world on fire.
Antoro. Kensi. Temonu.
Your Muma urges you to blaze a trail. A burnt kidling will learn to dread fire. That's just adding fuel to the flames. Give it a last burst and you'll make it.
Amu.
Your Muma says this is it. The time has come. She must fight Lupa Lupin. This time there's no escape. She can hear him coming.
Turi kumbala muma. Mustiki muka.
There's nowhere to run to this time. The time has come to...
Inyada aldo. Turi kumbala muma. Andro?
Whatever happens, you need to know she loves you. And everything she's done has been to protect you, your Popsy, and those she was
Vendrine senema.
She tells you to stay back. This is her fight. It has nothing to do with you. History has finally caught up with her.
Can't see.
She loves how brave you are, but she can't be worrying about you while she fights. Here it comes. The past coming to haunt the present. You must go through fire and water to make it out of here. Your Muma says you can make it if you believe in it. Where she goes, you go. Blood is thicker than water. You're in deep surf. Don't make waves. The surf goes where it wants to go. It'll take you to the shore as long as you go with the flow. Death is not to be feared by one who has lived life with a pure heart. A part of her will live on in you. The creature is hungry for more. Nothing is going to stand in its way now. If a sacrifice is made for someone else, it's not lost, but passed on to the next. Life must go on. Real sacrifice comes from love and necessity when all other options are exhausted. The ultimate test of conscience is the willingness to give up anything to save what you truly care about. What you do for yourself dies with you. What you do for your kin remains and makes you immortal in their memory. As the moment fades and is lost, the only thing that remains is loneliness. It doesn't mean you'll forget your past. It simply means you need to move on. The tribe's caught a fluffy hulk. Better watch out, it's no pet. They couldn't keep it down. Fluff hulk's on the loose. Slashing down. They couldn't keep it down. Fluff hulk's on the loose.
Ein ouch alla George.
You gave them no choice but to take it down, even though they'd planned to take the Fluff Hulk out to the far Fnacky Leaves and let it go. They've received news a Ronin had strengthened their ranks and were looking forward to meeting you. A group of myriad crusaders already headed out to Jagni's Mercadorpus out. You should hurry there and help them best the outpost. Not really. It's west of Bricktown. You can spot Gizmo's chug yard from the hill it res- Toxanol was something called a corporate juggernaut, and our world still bears the marks of the massive ecological catastrophes they inflicted upon the land. The apocalypse they caused was the end of days for their world. But for us, it was simply a beginning. Everything feels better. Look, an emergency box from the old days, when you needed to pack a punch to survive. Wow, bet that nut makes a tight fist. Seems like a peculiar item. Tunnels like this still carry echoes from the past. Can you hear it? Close encounter. Watch for trouble. Could come from any corner. That notice board? Filled with the leftovers of used-to-be wants. You're getting close to one of those old Toxanol brick towns. Pay attention. The Toxanol Corporation made this place, and then just threw it away when they were done with it. Toxanol never cared about the waste, as long as they didn't have to pay. There must be a track somewhere in this brick town. This corner of the world is called Bricktown. This is turning out to be quite an expedition. A flush stool from the back in time. Seems like the tighteners on the piping need to be unturned correctly to drain the flush stool. That's the kind of trouble you really want to wash away. The light's coming back. That's an odd thing, don't you think? Any kind of protection, you take it. The bright time creatures are getting up. Which looks like the Fry Sparker's knobs need to be in sync if you want to get the hardware working. It's a Fry Sparker mindset. Boom, you got something. It's not exactly what you wanted, but you got it right away. You found the track! Amazing it wasn't destroyed. So much of this place was just discarded. Lucky the track. No, it was never nice. It was new once, but that's not nearly the... The tracks moved on from Bricktown. So many places to be today. Nice topper. Mysteries unlocked. Never thought I'd see a clothes soak. You need to get the pegs lined up to get the clothes soaker rolling. Just a few moves left. Make them count. You really put a spin on it. Let's see. You'd better get a move on if you want to change things. Chop, chop. Bang. You have a good eye for that stuff. It's make your own scrap day. Get things done before the darkness falls again. Deepest, darkest forest in the land, sometimes hard to see for all the trees. Through Yeah. The future is in your hands, so take care of it. Maybe that key will match. Personal. A mercy, maybe. Don't let the day pass you by. The board mainly has posts from those that used to work at the chug yard back in the days gone. They don't make much sense these days. Not much more to say about the board. But Gizmo is holed up in the underyard here working on that Mekton of his. The Toxanol Corporation used to run chugger-chuggers out of here, big machines on rail. They can carry you anywhere you like, well, anywhere that they go to, and then you can leg it from there. You're on the right track. always scavenging for scrap, and the yard has plenty to go around. But they should have stuck to routine instead of playing around with sprockets. Misery. Making great progress. Careful out there in the wet. Bomber Bonker's busy ram-banging the door. This is your chance. Let's see. This box once tailed a chugger-chugger. Now it's just off track. Made it count. Yes, you can do anything. The sky's the limit. Now, let's take this back to Earth. Wow, you really took that all the way down to the end, in flames. Check out those guns. Those are the kind of things you need. It's a wonder some of these up and downs still work. Guess they built machines better in the past. The spent nuclear fuel, the toxanol dumped in the surf, had detrimental effects on the marine habitats, while the overflowing landfills contaminated the groundwater. Combined, this sent their world hurtling on an inevitable road to ruin. I need to brush up on my Wando, but I have a feeling he believes it was you that caused the bang at the... Oh, and he says he knows you. You used to call him Gizmo. He gave you the oil-greased hands when he taught him. Gizmo remembers you as a nice kidling, and he can still sense the warmth of your... But Gizmo says how you experience a memory can be different. You know the story, but sometimes the truth it brings is personal. He hopes you remember that one time he taught you to upcycle. Gizmo says he also has re-memories from the long gone, but unlike you, he doesn't think of the past, for it... He understands history made Loopa Loopin a big part of your past, your present, and... You still believe there's some good in everyone. He says you should know that what's meant to be will always find a way, but history shouldn't consume you. Gizmo encourages that. You should forgive, but never forget. It'll provide some comfort to your soul and keep the memory of lost...
Fan that flame!
Wait, no! Bright light blinds! It's dangerous!
I've got all the cold sick burns you need, Dark.
Oh, do you have to insult me over this?
I don't have to, but I want to.
Would like to know if you ever doubt the choices you made on the path that brought you to this point. Would you have been happier going in a different direction? Supposes that's all any of us can. Hard to believe the world is actually going to survive. Just grateful to you for coming back and doing your best to change things. You wonders if you liked working with the Myriad. They always seem so centered and so seeking. Figures everyone does. They seem unusually dedicated. But that's not important. Gizmo says it's taken a long time to bring the past up to the present, and where you go from here is up to you. He can't leave the Underyard as he has no protection against the vacuum in the dead zone, so you need to salvage scrap to upcycle the Mekton, starting... You should return when you've retrieved the scrap. There's no time to waste if you want to make the Mekton strong enough to fight the Jumbo Puff. There are more crates from before the apocalypse left out in the wild. Easy to find if you keep an eye out. You should be able... It's time to do what's right, for certain values of right. Looks like the switches need to be turned to match so enough charge can flow through the conductors. Just a few moves left. Make them count. Good. That's enough electric current to initiate the actuators and activate the framework. There's short of breath and death to this zone. Better take care. He who half breathes, half lives. That's a resource totem, a monument left behind by those that picked scrap, trying to keep the area clean. Nice. Some barked wood scrap for you. It's beyond late. Now that's a flesh wound. That's the leftover you're looking for. Keep your breath shallow as a puddle. Ooh, a Biohazard like that can make you real sick. At least the temp's nice and steady underground. Just tiptoe along. Just find your footing. Finding some thick air might be wise soon. You can't wait to get out, can you? He says that's enough to get the Mekton functional. You'll have an engine, a fuel soaker, a gun and a gathering net, but no armor, nor enough oxygen supply. He made a suction device so the Mekton can use the black tar as an instant refuel. You can also use it to clear oily goo puddles, so you can pass and access hard-to-get-to areas. He's been working on another project for the Mekton, a cannon, but it needs ammunition, and by that he means the scripts. He says if they're trained right, they'll turn into a distraction for the jumbo puff. The best way to find scripts is to go talk to Moog. He knows the ins and outs of every breathing thing left alive after the apocalypse. Unfortunately, this means you'll have to venture farther out into the dead zone than Moog's camp on the steep depot. Once you find Moog, he'll be able to give you directions to where you'll find scripts. He noticed the jumbo puff has a short attention span, so the script should distract it. The grease monkey's Mekton is built sturdy, just like himself. Can you imagine how this place used to look before the dead oil flood? You can see a lot farther now than at night. Might want to hold your breath before you head any further. You're about to witness the breathtaking vistas of what's known as the Dead Zone. In the old world, roads like this really led somewhere. Now, most of them lead to disaster. A hero has to stand on its own. Where would you like to take this Metallomech? shot. Imagine that. You could just go to a place like this to get a proper meal back in the old world. Blasting everything to bits. Cut down. Oh, that's perfect. Well, what do you know? Your ears just pooped. You could put that to good use. You'll get another chance to shout someday. Kaboom! Well placed. Subtle it is not. Fresh air. Gross. This place stinks. Now, this is the way to travel. Your chest is squeezing. Wait, it's the Scrip hole-up. Place is just filled with critters. Hot metal. Heroes are only heroes for others, but they do the work, or they're heroes to no one. Someone locked it solid. Locked up tight? Just point it in the right direction. Back to sneaking around. Let's see. What a glorious ride. Took care of it. The top of the world is so low down here. Bang Shelter 7C should have been stated right there in Toxanol lettering. History is nothing but a series of stories. Let's pocket that. Mount up. No air left for whining about it. Getting out the tin can? Let's see. It's Skypook Outpost. The Ankati tribe blew life into that ages ago. Says there's an interesting place nearby that no one knows about, but doesn't really want to talk about it right now. Happy you're no longer so shy. Good to have you working to help out. Wishes you goodbye. Let's see. Looks good. You always find good use for things like that. Beats hunting down scrap. Don't stop to rest. Bang Shelter 7B is still there, open and ready to shelter. You've dented that one good. Skronky Stomper. Take matters back into your own hands. At least you got something for your trouble. This won't be a field trip. It's the real thing. This Mekton knows how to move. Looks like you do, too. Up, down, all around. Let's see. Gizmo wants to help if he can. So, says you... Put that thing behind you. Gizmo wants to help if he can. Wonders... Understands you have... Gizmo wants to help if he can. Mekton is even mightier. The day can't come soon enough.